Thor and the Theft of Mjölnir. A Norse legend retold for all ages. In the land of the gods, where frost-kissed mountains scraped the heavens and the golden halls of Asgard gleamed in the perpetual twilight, there lived a god whose temper matched the storms and whose strength was unmatched. His name was Thor, the god of thunder, son of Odin the All-Father and protector of gods and men. Thor was mighty indeed. His weapon, the fabled hammer Mjolnir, forged by dwarves in the heart of a dying star, could summon thunder, shatter mountains, and return to his hand whenever thrown. And so long as Mjolnir lay in Asgard, none dared threaten the peace of the 9 realms. But peace, as all things divine and mortal, is fleeting. One morning, as dawn tiptoed over the sky, Thor awoke with a frown. He reached for Mjolnir, as was his custom, for no god slept far from their power. But the hammer was gone. Not misplaced. Not hidden. Gone. Thor leapt from his bed, his red beard bristling. "Who dares touch Mjolnir?" he thundered. "By Odin's eye, I shall shatter every stone in Asgard if this is jest." But it was no jest. The gods gathered: Freya, the goddess of love and war, Heimdall, the watchman of the Bifrost, and wise Odin himself. None knew where Mjolnir had vanished. Thor's fury rolled like thunder over the halls. But then came Loki, the silver-tongued trickster and brother by oath to Thor. With sly eyes and a crooked smile, he said, "Perhaps we should search where only fools and giants tread." With Odin's blessing, Loki borrowed Freya's falcon feather cloak, a magical garment that allowed the wearer to fly faster than any wind. He soared across the skies, past the roots of Yggdrasil, to the land of the Jötunheimr, the land of giants, called Jötunheimr. There he found Thrym, a great frost giant with a voice like cracking ice and a beard thick with icicles. Thrym sat proudly on a hill of broken shields, combing his hair with a sword. When Loki approached, the giant sneered. "Looking for something, godling?" Thrym boomed. "I look for a hammer," Loki replied coolly. "One that should never leave Asgard." Thrym grinned, showing teeth like stones. "Mjolnir rests beneath 8 leagues of stone. I buried it deep, so none may wield it unless I be given my prize." "And what prize do you demand?" Thrym laughed, a sound that shook the trees. "I want Freya, the goddess of beauty and battle. Let her be my bride, and the hammer shall return." When Loki returned to Asgard with this news, Thor was ready to rip apart the very sky. "Freya? He dares ask for Freya?" Thor bellowed. Freya's eyes flashed like lightning. "I would not wed a frost giant for all the gold in the 9 realms." The gods gathered once more. Even wise Odin could not see another path. Without Mjolnir, Asgard was defenseless. The giants would attack. Chaos would reign. Then Heimdall, ever watchful, spoke with a grin. "If the bride will not go, perhaps another might take her place." All eyes turned to Thor. "No," said Thor, taking a step back. "Absolutely not. I shall not." Loki smiled, ever delighted by mischief. "We'll dress you in silk and gold. A lovely bridal veil. Earrings, jewels, why, you'll be radiant." "I am the god of thunder," Thor growled. "And today," Loki smirked, You shall be the bride of Thrym. And so it was that Thor, the fiercest warrior of the gods, was draped in the finest gown of Freya. His beard remained, of course, even magic has its limits, but beneath the veil, he looked every bit the bride. Loki, ever the accomplice, disguised himself as a handmaiden and traveled beside him. They rode in a grand chariot pulled not by horses, but by Thor's mighty goats, Jötunheimr and Toothgrinder, their hooves sparking flames across the sky. When they arrived in Jötunheimr, Thrym welcomed them with glee. "Freya!" he roared. "How your eyes gleam with fury! How your fists twitch with passion!" Thor glared from behind the veil. A great feast was laid before them. Thor, forgetting his disguise in his hunger, devoured an entire ox, ate salmon, and drank 3 barrels of mead. Thrym looked on, puzzled. "My, what an appetite you have!" Loki, quick as ever, chuckled. "She has not eaten for 8 nights, so eager was she to join her groom." Thrym nodded, satisfied. At last the time came for Thrym to bestow his gift, the mighty Mjolnir, to bless the wedding. "Bring forth the hammer!" cried the giant. And they did. They placed it in the bride's lap, as was the custom among giants, to sanctify the union. The moment Thor's fingers touched Mjolnir's hilt, the disguise fell like smoke. With a roar of triumph Thor rose. His veil tore away, his beard bristled like storm clouds, and his eyes gleamed with fury. "This is your bride, Thrym!" he thundered. With a single swing, he shattered the giant's throne. Another strike, and Thrym was cast into the dust. The hall trembled. Giants fled in terror as Thor brought Mjolnir down upon them, one by one, until the ground drank the last echoes of thunder. Thor and Loki returned to Asgard, their chariot trailing sparks across the heavens. The gods greeted them with cheers. Freya laughed until tears streamed from her eyes. Even Odin cracked a rare smile. Thor placed Mjolnir once more in its resting place beside his bed. "Let none forget," he said, "that while the gods may jest, none may steal from Asgard and live." And so the tale of Thor and the stolen hammer passed from god to mortal, from firelit halls to icy fjords, carried by skalds and scribes. Some tell it for its humor, the mighty god in a bridal gown. Others tell it for its bravery, the fearless reclaiming of what was lost. But all who hear it remember this: that even in the heart of trickery and disguise, truth reveals itself in thunder, and no thief can hold what belongs to the storm.